I'm Vyvyan Evans, Professor of Linguistics at Bangor University. In my research, I investigate the prodigious capacity of our species, Homo sapiens, to mean during acts of communication. I've published around a dozen books on aspects of language, meaning, mind, imagination, and their evolution. And I discuss these topics regularly in the popular written and broadcast media. The book titled The Crucible of Language borrows from the folklore of alchemy, the search for a substance, the mythical philosopher's stone, that could transmute base metals into gold. The crucible, where chemicals were mixed in this pursuit, is really the emblem of this quest. The book tells the story of what we know and what we do when we produce acts of meaning, the elixir of communication. Trying to figure out the nature of meaning for previous generations of researchers was like the ineffability of knowing how to make the impure pure in alchemy beyond the reach of contemporary science. But recent discoveries I present in the book, have changed that. Understanding the nature of meaning is, in one way or another, central to many of the academic disciplines in the brain, behavioural, cognitive and social sciences. And yet meaning really is such a slippery beast. For much of the 20th century, researchers in language and cognitive science shied away from attempting to investigate it. But for my money, knowing how we produce meaning is one of the final frontiers in a complete understanding of the human mind. New research findings over the last couple of decades, perhaps for the first time, now makes it viable to provide an account of how we produce meaning in our everyday acts of communication. The greatest challenge in writing the book was to try and survey and integrate the raft of recent discoveries from different disciplines in order to make sense of what we now know about the nature of human meaning. These range from linguistics to psychology, anthropology to archaeology, from neuroscience to social science. This brings with it challenges, but I hope that the reader will find the book both coherent and compelling. In a nutshell, the book advances a relatively simple idea. Meaning arises from the confluence of language and the mind. More specifically, the range of ideas, concepts that we carry around with us in our minds are harnessed and nuanced by language in the act of meaning construction. The book is divided into two parts. So in the first half, I investigate the nature of mind design. I focus on backstage processes involved in meaning, ranging from figurative language, imagination, the nature of time, concepts, and how a pre-linguistic infant grows rudimentary concepts that have to be in place by the time language begins to emerge around 12 months of age. In the second part, I focus on language itself. In particular, I examine what language brings to the table, so to speak, in producing meaning, and how it hooks up with the mind's concepts. I consider the encyclopedic nature of linguistic meaning, how words combine compositionally in producing meaning, and the evolutionary developments that gave rise to language in the first place. And finally, I consider the role of culture, which provides the immersive backdrop for language and the human mind, and in many ways is the essential web in which meaning is played out. The book is written in a lively and engaging way, drawing on popular anecdotes, news stories and literary examples. It provides an introduction really to the new science of meaning, explaining what we do and what we know when we mean, and revealing what we know about language, mind and culture, and how they give rise to meaning. Anyone with an interest in the nature of language, mind, and how we construct meaning will surely find something of value in the book, I hope. It's written for the general reader, and students in particular, but it will also appeal to researchers who want to get a primer in the new science of meaning. You should read my book because meaning really is what makes us who we are. It's the hallmark of what it means to be human.